This is Rock and Roll English. Real people, real English. Here's your host, Martin Johnston.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Rock and Roll English Family. This is episode number 598 of this podcast. We are nearly at 600, baby. Anyway, today things are a bit different because we have some extra people here. We have the rock and rollers from the normal podcast too. I kind of feel like someone is watching me now. It's a bit like the photographer at the wedding who said to me, just be normal, okay? I'm not here. It's difficult to be normal when you know someone is looking, but I'm doing my best. Anyway, we are carrying on the conversation from Tuesday about the rock and roll wedding, baby. We were at the point about talking about my speech, so that's where we pick it up today. Also, for family members, I have another podcast for you tomorrow where I will let you listen to the speech that I made at the wedding, because when I was preparing for the speech I actually recorded myself saying it a few times so I could listen to it and memorize it. So I will let you listen to one of those recordings. Something to note, a lot of the speech is in Italian. It's about 50-50, but don't worry because you can check the transcript to the episode on your phone or on the computer where it will all be in English. Also for family members, as you know, in our secret Facebook group, we do 2 Facebook Lives a month. And on Monday, Mrs. Rock and Roll English will join me, okay? So I will see you then with my wife, Mrs. Rock and Roll English. But before that, we have this episode to listen to. So here is part 2 of the conversation with Substitute Sabrina. Remember, we were talking about my speech. I will speak to you all again at the end. Happy listening. Which went down well. So when it went down well, it was well received. I spent the night before actually writing or drawing on these pieces of paper because I thought I don't want to read it. And I'd kind of memorised it, but obviously it was very long, so I couldn't really memorise everything. Very long, as I think you found out, didn't you, Substitute Sabrina?
Oh my God, yeah. I think it was the longest one out of all your speeches. Yeah. Out of the usher, the Mrs. Rock and Roll's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours was long.
Yeah, mine was long. So a long translation. So thank you again for that. So I just drew pictures of to remind me of what I needed to say. And that was very well received. Then the ushers, so Boom Boom, Hellraiser, Corporal Coma, and another person that's not known to the podcast, but a very good friend of mine. Then my brother, and the Italians loved them. They went crazy for them. They all said to me, oh, we've only seen these speeches in the American films. So it's so good to see them live. So I actually think that was the best part of the wedding.
Oh,
that
good.
was great.
Nice.
And you played a massive part in that, Substitute Sabrina.
It was my pleasure.
So thank you very much. Then obviously, because, the eating takes a long time. So then we went to cut the cake, went up there. And obviously, again, it's a pressure moment. Everyone's looking. But what they didn't tell us, because it was a 3-tier cake. So 3 tiers, there's 3 layers to it. So we thought, right, we'll start cutting the top bit. But we didn't realise the top bit was just a pretend part of the cake. And so it looked like it was a cake from the outside, but apparently it was just plastic or something. And so we're trying to cut this cake, and I was thinking, why won't this cut? And basically everyone's laughing, and what are they doing? It's just a cake. They can't even cut a cake. And then the guy from the catering came over and was like, yeah, you're cutting the wrong layer there. You need to start on the second one. So that was another embarrassing moment. And then there was a big bottle of champagne that I had to open. And so then they said, you're the man, you have to do it. And I thought, I don't think I've ever opened a bottle of champagne before.
Oh, no, come on. I actually saw a video of that.
Okay.
And I have a question when you finish explaining.
Okay, well, I just thought, am I going to shoot myself in the face with the cork? So the cork is the thing that comes out of the bottle. But I thought I managed it. What's your question then, Substitute Sabrina?
Where was the kiss? Even the photographer said, bacio, kiss.
Really? Okay, so yeah, I didn't know I was supposed to kiss. This is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're supposed to do in these things. like there was, lots of people there. Lots of people were talking. As I said, there's a lot going on.
Were you drunk by that time, or were you super tired?
Well, obviously, I was still super tired because, as we mentioned, I hadn't slept a wink. And then obviously the emotions, because all of this as well, like being hot as well. I'm sure even I don't know, if I got married in England when it was like 10 degrees, I would still feel hot because you're emotional. But then when you're wearing the suit and it's 40 degrees and stuff like this, it's just too much. It was just too much for me. I'm just not man enough to cope with all these things.
Are you happy that it's done and
Oh,
over and
God.
you had a wonderful day?
Oh yeah. Oh, I cannot tell you how happy. Cannot tell you. I feel like a new man. And yeah, obviously it was a wonderful day, but obviously as well happy to have got over the line. So there's a nice expression, to like have finally done it, because obviously it was delayed and everything like this. It's been very stressful to finally now think, we are free. And then we did the first dance after that, which was something again I was very anxious about. I think in the last episode I'd mentioned we had chosen an upbeat song, so like a fast song. But then on the day I was like, we can't do this. I don't know how to dance. Like, let's just choose a slow one so we can just sort of hold each other, move,
lean on each other.
Yeah, exactly. And then after like a minute of that, you're sort of going around in a circle and you're thinking everyone's looking. And then I was trying to sort of signal to the DJ to like play the next song, so then everyone else will come in and dance, just to get the pressure off of us.
Was there the switch over to Mrs. Rock and Roll's dad?
No, we didn't actually do that.
Okay.
Mainly because I don't think he, like me, like his son-in-law, he's not a massive dancing fan either. So he was taking the position I normally take of just standing at the side of the dance floor, having a drink, which was a very good position to take, I think. And then this is when, to be honest, because the music, we had to stop at 12 because of the license and stuff like that. So then they sort of just turned down the volume a bit. But then sort of by 1:30, everyone was leaving. So we only actually ended up dancing for I don't know, probably an hour at max. And then so everyone went home. We'd sorted taxis out for everyone. And this is the crazy bit, okay? So everyone goes. Me and Mrs. Rock and Roll English are the last ones to go. We went home with her mum and dad. And another thing, actually, so we were supposed to stay in this luxurious B&B, obviously, this luxurious apartment that I had rented. Right. But because I was so tired, I just said to Mrs. R&R, can we just go and sleep in our bed, please? Because...
No way. So you didn't go to the apartment?
Did not go. So that was just money down the drain, as we say, just to throw money away. I think that's another reason why I didn't sleep, because one, obviously I was nervous about the wedding. 2, I'm in a different bed. 3, I'm sleeping alone because obviously I'm used to Mrs. R&R sleeping with me. It was light in there. It was just a nightmare. So I just said, look, let's just go home. Let's go to our house so then we can have
but you should have still gone. But, was it overlooking a view? I'm sure.
We've got a sea view from our balcony, so...
I know you can, but you not as a luxury hotel. Come on. I've been to your house.
What are you trying to say?
You have a view, yes. You can see the beach from very far away, but I'm sure from the luxury hotel there was a nicer view. Come on.
Yeah, there was. But, it was dark. You couldn't see anything at that point anyway. So we went back. But that's me and Mrs. R. Me and Mrs. R&R. We're simple people. Okay, so she was happy as well. She was like, yeah, definitely, let's do this. And so we're in the car with her mum and dad. I then get a phone call from my mum, who is crying because she was in a car crash with the taxi.
Oh my God, you serious?
Yes, 100% serious.
Oh wow.
Quite serious. The car was a write-off. So when the car is a write-off, it's been completely destroyed and you can't fix it, basically. Luckily...
The taxi?
Yeah. The taxi had a car crash.
Shit. No, I understood, but which car was totaled?
Yeah, the taxi. Yeah. So when she said what car was totaled, which car was destroyed, basically. So yeah, the taxi was completely destroyed. Luckily, though, everyone, so my friends and family, so Corporal Coleman was in that car, for example. My friend's 2 children. So one of his children is 5, the other child is like 8 months old. They were in the car. Luckily, they were all totally fine. Obviously, it was just a shock. What happened? The taxi had a great idea of going the wrong way up a one-way street. Right.
Oh wow.
This is at 1:30 in the morning. So this is the first good idea. The second good idea is that 2 teenagers were coming down this street on a moped with no lights on.
Holy shit.
And boom. But the problem was that these 2 teenagers on these mopeds obviously went absolutely flying. One girl went over a fence, apparently. Flew over a fence.
Wow.
And they were obviously bleeding and it was serious. And then they had to call the ambulance. So it was obviously for them extremely, extremely traumatic.
Wow.
But luckily, I've heard, because I know someone that works at the hospital where these 2 boys went, they are both absolutely fine. Or maybe it was a boy and a girl, I don't know. But they're fine. I think, fine. The boy's broken his leg. But it could have been, a lot worse.
So in this case, it was the taxi driver that went the wrong way.
I would assume so. I mean, it doesn't help that they didn't have their lights on, but...
Well, that too.
I mean, if you're driving the wrong way down a one-way street, I don't think you've really got a defence, really, have you?
Wow.
So that was... But luckily, so I saw everyone at the beach the next day, and everyone was absolutely fine. They all said it was even just like a dream, like they almost couldn't remember it. And even I spoke to my friend's son, who was 5, who was the page boy, and he actually couldn't remember it at all. So I was very happy to hear that.
Wow.
That no lasting scars, as we say. And other than that, that was it. I had a great day at the beach the next day, because I was finally able to relax. Did a lot of drinking, sitting around, and that was it, really. And there we have the report. The only thing now is that I'm trying to get used to this ring that I'm wearing, which I've never worn a ring in all of my life.
Let me see it again. It's
white gold.
White gold?
Well, because I didn't realise when I bought...
Like mine.
Like yours. See, I never noticed these things. When I bought Mrs. R&R the engagement ring, it was white gold. And then so she then said, okay, well, I want the wedding ring white gold.
Right.
I wanted normal gold, but obviously I wasn't allowed because it has to be the same. So
of course.
Yeah, I've got white gold, but it's just such a strange thing. And the thing I'm most worried about is it now sort of highlights the fact I've got kind of hairy fingers.
Well, yeah, people are going to look at your hands more often.
Exactly.
See those hairy hands.
Because normally it just goes under the radar. So if it goes under the radar, like you just don't notice it. But yeah, so that's the main problem. And now it's just all a case of trying to sort out the house. There's lots of stuff here, balloons, flowers, lots of people left stuff here. I said, I'll keep this. And trying to get back to a bit of normality. I was thinking, I want to just get back to a bit of routine. I've had a few crazy weeks. No, I haven't been going to work. I cannot wait to go back to work and just to get into a nice routine again.
Well, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Don't worry. Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I will. Although a 3-day honeymoon, I think, is coming up. Hopefully this week in Sicily. We haven't actually booked that yet.
Where are you going to go?
Somewhere near, because we don't want to travel. We'll probably literally just go to the end of the road.
In that hotel where you didn't sleep.
Exactly. Go there and have a nice honeymoon. And that's literally, well, if even I cycled there, would take me less than 10 minutes to cycle. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. Well, actually, my plan for the honeymoon, if it happens, which hopefully it will, is to not take my phone and just completely just like delete myself from the world just for 3 days.
That's a nice idea. That's an awesome idea.
Exactly. So I was going to say I'll keep you posted about the honeymoon, but but hopefully you won't hear from me because I won't have my phone.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, well, thanks again one more last time. You had a massive impact on the wedding, Substitute
My
Sabrina,
pleasure.
and it was a great day. So thank you very much.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Okay, so there we have the rundown of the wedding. I obviously shared a few personal things then, but that's what we do in these family episodes. So the rock and roll vocabulary, we had the speech went down well. So it was well received. It was accepted, let's say. I said that there was a 3-tier wedding cake. So like 3 floors of the cake, let's call it. I said I was worried about shooting myself in the face with the cork. So the cork, when you have a bottle of wine, a bottle of champagne, the thing that you take out is the cork. I said that I'm happy to have got over the line. So to get over the line, to have finally done it. We had the term upbeat song, like a fast song. I mentioned how the apartment that we had paid for was just money down the drain. So money wasted, money down the drain. I said the car was a write-off. So if a car is a write-off, it cannot be repaired. It's finished. Substitute Sabrina also asked me which car was totaled. So if something is totaled, it is destroyed. I also mentioned how my hairy fingers just normally go under the radar. People don't notice them. But now with my ring, people do notice them. Anyway, remember there will be my speech tomorrow for all of the Rock and Roll English family members. And I will see you on Monday with Mrs. Rock and Roll English in the private Facebook group for our Facebook Live with Mrs. Rock and Roll English, my wife. It still feels strange saying that. Anyway, thanks everyone for listening. I will see you soon. But in the meantime, just keep on rocking, baby.
Thanks so much for listening to Rock and Roll English. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit rockandrollenglish.com and facebook.com/rockandrollenglish. We'll catch you next time.